All right, here we go. Protect yourself at all times. We are on it. Ron Futrell here with the latest VEGAS Sportscast for, we're pretty much to mid-May right now, getting close to it, the 11th. And we've got hockey and more hockey going on right now in Winnipeg. That's where the Golden Knights are right now as they play Winnipeg 4 o'clock Pacific time today. Game 1 of the Western Finals. Eastern Finals have already started. Pretty good matchup there. Washington Capitals against Tampa Bay. And Washington won at Tampa Bay in the opener. How about that? Heavy underdogs, and Washington came away the winner. The Knights, by the way, in tonight's game are minus 140. So they are a bit of an underdog against Tampa Bay. Knights have had 6 days, almost 7 days off. So does that work to their advantage where Winnipeg has only had 2 days off? I think it works to the Knights' advantage to have that time off. This time of the season, yeah, you like to have that extra break to be able to rest up, get better, feel good, and get it going, where Winnipeg just had to finish up a tough series that they had with Nashville, 7-game series where they won on the road at Nashville 5-1 in that final game. So the matchup here. This is a matchup of great skilled players on Winnipeg. Maybe you could call them, a few of them, NHL stars, superstars at some point. You know, it's certainly going in that direction, if not already, where the Golden Knights seem to be more of a team. Does that make sense? Without the great superstars, but just the team. But the superstar, Marc-Andre Fleury. I asked him a few weeks ago if he felt he was playing the best hockey of his career. And he humbly said, sort of, I'm not sure, maybe, perhaps, like he usually does. But he is. I think he is. At 33 years old, playing the best hockey of his career. And I've watched a lot of his games, and he won 3 Stanley Cups with Pittsburgh. But he is carrying this team on his shoulders in so many ways with so much of what he is doing right now. He has 4 shutouts in 10 playoff games this season. That's phenomenal right there. That is phenomenal. He's played in every game. He's been the only goalie that the Knights have used. And they've got an 8-2 record in the playoffs, winning the first series, sweeping the series against the Kings, and winning 4-2 against the Sharks. So now they go to Winnipeg. Clean slate, best of 7. Knights do not have home ice advantage. They do have the 4th best record in the NHL on the road, so that will help them. I think they win tonight. Let's go here. Here's part of my thinking is that against the Sharks, when they had about a week off, Sharks also, 9 days. They had 9 days off. Sharks had 8 days off. Knights won that opener 7-0. This team responds when they have rest. At least they did then. So I'm going to go with that. Since we've seen it before, we've seen them succeed with some rest. This team is going to have some rest. I think they come out with that rest and take it to Winnipeg. And this first game, obviously going to be crucial. We can use the word crucial, important. I'm not going to call it a must-win until it is. I won't do that. Some people like to, by the way. Oh, this is going to be a must-win. Well, no, they could lose and still win the series. So that's insane. But anyway, I guess I'm thinking of that because I heard somebody else say it at another TV station here in town. Must win. Is this first game a must win? It's the first game of a best of 7. Oh, you'd like to. And I think they will. Okay, so they've got tonight's game beginning at 4 o'clock Pacific, Saturday. Then they play Monday at Winnipeg. Winnipeg, by the way, is in the central time zone. It's right in the middle of Canada, in the southern part of Canada, but right in the middle of the country from east to west. But then very close, just above North Dakota. How about that for a way to describe it? Just above North Dakota. So it's a little cold there. They got great fans. They have Canada is riding high, hoping that they can be the one to win it. And because there hasn't been a Canadian team win in 7 years, it's Montreal. I think it's been pretty close. Win the Stanley Cup. And also Winnipeg. Let's go here, and you get this part of not being the big city, let's say the Toronto or the Montreal or even the Vancouver for that matter, in that for them to win and before a Montreal, Toronto, with them having down seasons this year would be something big for Winnipeg. So a lot riding on their shoulders up there. White out. Let's get them. Oh, don't adjust your sets watching those road games up there because they wear all white. I'm glad the Knights don't have shirts for everybody to wear in the stands and hand out the shirts. Please don't start that, okay? And just let them wear what they wear. to the games. Just a little pet peeve of mine. The rally towels, boom, those are great. Love those. But the shirts, I don't know. I just think it looks a little cheesy. And I can't pinpoint it. I can't give you a reason why. Just it does, in my opinion. And I guess because the Lakers never did it. Here's why. Here's why I've got this bias against it. Prejudice, be called. But the Lakers never did it, and the Jazz used to do it all the time. So that's where I'm probably coming from with that prejudice about wearing the shirts that are all the same color in the arena. So just my little preference. Love the rally towels. Bring those on. Wave those all day long, all night long. They look great. So it will be a madhouse up there. We'll see what the Knights can do. They've just had a phenomenal playoff run this year. Of course, as an expansion team, a couple of interesting notes. The sale of merchandise, according to Fanatics, and they track this stuff because they sell this stuff. Fanatics, you can find them with that at Fanatics on Twitter. Anyway, they say that the Knights have sold more merchandise, first of all, than any other team in the NHL this year. Well, maybe because they're new. I'm sure that's part of it. Also, they've sold more during the last month than they have the entire 6 months of the season prior to this, just because of the great rush in the playoffs. And it's people from 90 different countries, 90 different countries have bought Golden Knights stuff. So people around the planet are wearing Golden Knights stuff. Also, this phenomenon of having the parties, the watch parties, love them, and it's a new thing in sports. When I say new, the last decade, really, of these, some are team sponsored. I get those, like those. They're fun. Going to one downtown, doing some live shots from there today. With the D, sponsored by Derek Stevens and the D. But also a story about the Knights and what they've done here in the city is the small bars, restaurants, have noticed a definite, not just an uptick, but a major increase in business on game nights. Bars around town are packed. So people are watching in the bars, people are watching the big watch parties, people are watching at home. It is captivating. Making the Final Four has done a lot, certainly, for this town, this community. I've talked about that a lot, about how it feels, how it feels so good. Having been 27 years since we've had this feeling here in Las Vegas, and that was when UNLV won the national championship in college basketball. We've got that feeling, that attitude, that sense back, and that's nice to have that. NBA. I should mention NBA stuff. There was some interesting things going on there. Golden State, Houston, come on now. Houston might have a shot there. I'm sort of going for Houston. I'm left-handed, so I like James Harden. I do. It is that simple with me. It is that simple with me sometimes. If the Lakers aren't in it, it is that simple with me. So there. Plus, it'd be nice for the NBA. It'd be good to see something new. And in the East, Cleveland against Boston. I can't root for Boston. I can't root for Cleveland. So I don't care. How about that one? Jim Murin, the president, CEO, King Man at MGM Resorts, says that within 5 years the NBA will have a team here. Well, I think the announcement will come soon. I've said it often. I believe the announcement of an NBA franchise coming to Las Vegas will happen before the Raiders get here. In 2020 is when they're scheduled to be here. Now, I know nothing. Other than it's just sort of a gut feeling. The NBA sees what's happening with the Knights. They're going to want to jump on this. They don't want to be in a third position, which they will be already, because I can't see them getting a team here by 2020. But they want to at least announce it, know that they're on their way. And they don't want to be in the number 3 spot here in Vegas. They see everything going on with the Knights. They want to capture that emotion here in this community. And it's as crazy as it sounds, it might be a struggle for the NBA. WNBA is here, and I've said it often that MGM did not take a WNBA team, the Aces. They begin play. They've already had an exhibition game, but begin play for real later this month. They wouldn't have taken that team here into Vegas without the understanding knowledge that at some point an NBA team is going to come here, because that's the way it works. That is just the way it works. You want the TV deal with the NBA? You take the WNBA. That's the way it works. So, that being said, no, Jim Murin is absolutely right, and it's something I've been saying for a long time, that the NBA is on its way. They are thinking about it. And get the Clippers out of L.A. Just have them come here. They're not doing anything in L.A. They're in the number 3 position in that arena, meaning they get the third spot and third call on dates. They get lost with the Kings. Kings are the number 1 in that arena, by the way. Lakers number 2 and Clippers number 3. AEG owns both arenas, owns Staples Center in L.A., and they're partners with the MGM Mirage on the Vegas arena. So we got an arena. Got that problem solved. Come here and play in the same arena as the Knights. Happens all over the NBA and the NHL. It can happen here, and I believe will happen here before too long. So that's it. That's the way I see it. We'll see what happens with the Knights tonight. Again, at 4 o'clock start time. Knights taking on Winnipeg on the road. Oh, the games next week for the Knights, Wednesday and Friday. And what's the time? Start times are a little bit different, 5 and 6 o'clock for the start times because of television. So just a word of warning on that. Not the typical 7 o'clock start times for local games. TV now is running the show. Has it? Well, and I don't mean now. I mean, it always has run the show in that sense. But now that they are this deep into the playoffs, into the Final Four of the NHL, TV dictates the start times for the games. All right, that's the way I see it. I'm Ron Futrell. Have a good one, everybody. Bye for now, and thanks for listening.